In this video, we will explain absolutely everything you need to know to travel to Buenos Aires, Argentina. This is the most complete and detailed video you will watch today about this destination, covering everything from the logistics of arriving through 2 different airports, the secrets of currency exchange to make your money worth double, where to eat the best steak of your life, and how to avoid tourist traps in Caminito. So let us get started. Buenos Aires is the most European city in Latin America and a favorite international destination. It is a city of passions where tango, soccer, and politics mix on every corner. It is the place of charming literary cafes, wide avenues that resemble Paris and Madrid, and a gastronomy that goes far beyond meat with incredible pasta and pizza, a heritage of Italian immigration. It is an affordable, vibrant city that never sleeps. Now let us move on to logistics and planning. What is the best time to visit Buenos Aires? The city has well-defined seasons. The best time by far is spring from September to November, when the jacarandas bloom, turning the whole city purple and the weather is perfect. Autumn from March to May is also excellent with mild temperatures. We recommend avoiding the peak of summer in January and February, as the heat is humid and suffocating, and many locals go on vacation, leaving the city somewhat empty. Winter from June to August is cold, with temperatures below 50 degrees Fahrenheit, but it is charming for drinking wine and eating pasta. And how many days to stay in Buenos Aires? The city is huge and has many distinct neighborhoods. The bare minimum we recommend to see the main sites is 4 full days. But to take it easy, enjoy the parks of Palermo, visit Tigre, and enjoy the nightlife. The ideal is 5 to 6 full days. Now let us talk about transportation and how to get around Buenos Aires. This part is crucial because there are 2 airports. Aeroparque Jorge Newbery is inside the city next to Palermo. If you can choose, arrive through it, as you will be 15 minutes from the hotel. Ezeiza Airport is the international one and is far away, about 50 minutes to an hour from the center. From Ezeiza, the best option is the official taxi from Taxi Ezeiza Company, or the Uber app, which costs about $25. There is also an executive bus called Tienda Leon, which is practical and safe. To get around within the city, do not rent a car. Traffic is chaotic and finding a parking spot is impossible. Public transport is very good. The subway, which they call Subte, is the oldest network in Latin America and takes you to almost all tourist places. You need to buy the Subi card at any kiosco convenience store and load it. Buses also work well and run 24 hours. Taxis and ride-sharing apps are very cheap for international tourists due to the favorable exchange rate, so it is worth using for comfort at night. Staying in a good region will make your trip much easier. The strategy in Buenos Aires is to choose between classic luxury young nightlife or central practicality. The first option, and the most noble, is the Recoleta neighborhood. The advantage is that it is the chicest area with French architecture near the cemetery and museums, very safe and beautiful. The disadvantage is that there is no subway in all parts. The second option, and our favorite, is Palermo, especially Palermo Soho or Hollywood. The advantage is that you are surrounded by the best restaurants, bars, design shops, and the busiest nightlife. It is where the city pulses. The disadvantage is that it is a little further from the historic attractions of the center. The third option is the center, or Microcentro. The advantage is staying close to the obelisk Casa Rosada and having lots of subway access at the door. It is practical and cheap. The disadvantage is that the area gets deserted and a bit unsafe at night and on weekends. Puerto Madero is the modern and expensive option, safe and full of restaurants but isolated from public transport. We created this personalized map that explains exactly which is the best central region to stay, highlighting the areas near the subway stations that facilitate tourism. We will leave here on the screen QR code and in the video description the link to this exclusive map. We created them on the hotel site we always use, as it always has the best prices and reliable options. Over there, you can already put your travel date and see all hotel options within this strategic location for the lowest prices. We will also leave links to the hotels we have already stayed at and approved. In all destinations, we always recommend one that is very cheap and super well located for those who want to save money, and another that is a little better in the same location but a little more expensive with more comfort. These are great options tested by us. An important tip to save on accommodation is the advanced strategy. Good hotels in Buenos Aires, especially in Palermo, sell out fast on holidays. That is why we really like using this site we indicated. In addition to having the lowest prices, it has free cancellation with almost all hotels. You can book as soon as possible to guarantee a much lower price. And if you need to cancel later due to any change of plans, it is super easy and at no cost. And remembering that in this link below, we always organize everything you need to set up your entire trip for the lowest price on a single page. The sites we use to build our trips, and that have everything much cheaper, such as the international eSIM cell phone chip. So you arrive, connected the discounted travel insurance. We already mentioned tickets for all the popular attractions we will mention next. The good and cheap hotels, we have already stayed at the car rental comparator that we do not recommend for Buenos Aires, and the global account to carry dollars or pesos. An extra money tip: currently using remittance services like Western Union makes your dollar worth almost double the official credit card exchange rate. It is worth researching the blue rate. And the links already contain automatic discounts because we are always updating them. So save this page in your favorites and use it when planning, as it will facilitate your trip a lot and make you save a lot of money. Now let us get to the main attractions with details you cannot miss. Attraction number 1 is Plaza de Mayo and Casa Rosada. It is the political heart of Argentina. Why is it famous? It is where the presidency headquarters is located, famous for the balcony from where Evita Perón gave speeches. Logistics involve taking the subway to Plaza de Mayo station. Also visit the Metropolitan Cathedral where Pope Francis used to say Mass. The external visit is free. There are free guided tours inside Casa Rosada on weekends, but you need to book online in advance. Attraction number 2 is the Obelisk and 9 de Julio Avenue. It is the biggest symbol of the city located on the widest avenue in the world. Why is it famous? For its grandeur and the giant BA vertical garden sign for taking photos. Logistics involve walking from the center. Take the opportunity to take the classic photo and then walk to the Teatro Colón, which is nearby. Attraction number 3 is Teatro Colón. It is considered one of the best opera houses in the world due to its perfect acoustics. Why is it famous? For its luxurious architecture and history. Logistics involve buying the ticket for the guided tour that happens every day and costs about $10. It is unmissable to see the Golden Hall in the dome. Attraction number 4 is the Recoleta Cemetery. It seems strange to visit a cemetery, but this is an open-air museum with mausoleums that are works of art. Why is it famous? It is where Evita Perón's tomb is located, always covered with flowers. Logistics involve walking if you are in Recoleta. Entrance is now paid for foreigners and costs about $6 payment only by card. Next door, visit the Floralis Generica, the giant metal flower that opens and closes with the sun. Attraction number 5 is Caminito in the La Boca neighborhood. It is the most colorful and touristy street in the city. Why is it famous? For the zinc houses painted in vibrant colors, the tango dancers on the street, and the Boca Juniors La Bombonera Stadium, which is a few blocks away. Logistics involve taking a taxi or tourist bus. Avoid walking from other neighborhoods as the surrounding area is dangerous. Go during the day and never stay until nightfall. The visit is free. Attraction number 6 is Puerto Madero. It is the revitalized port area full of modern buildings and chic restaurants. Why is it famous? For the Woman-S Bridge, a work by architect Calatrava, and the Costanera Sur Ecological Reserve. Logistics involve walking in the late afternoon, crossing the bridge, and having dinner at one of the steakhouses there. Attraction number 7 is the Japanese Garden and the Palermo Woods. It is the green lung of the city. Why is it famous? The Japanese garden is impeccable with lakes, red bridges, and a tea house. Entrance costs about $3. In the Palermo Woods, you can rent a paddle boat on the lake and visit the Rosadola Garden with thousands of roses that is free and beautiful in spring. An important tip that will save you time and money is to buy tickets for attractions and tours in advance. On the spot, it is always more expensive, lines are long, and the most famous tours like tango shows with dinner sell out. We will leave in the QR code on the screen and in the video description the link to the site where we always buy tickets and tours for the lowest price and with immediate confirmation. It is the largest tour site in the world and has practically everything there. Tickets for the tango show, boat trips on the Tigre Delta, and excursions to Colonia in Uruguay. Everything for the lowest price, and you can buy in any currency, saving on international card fees and guaranteeing your entry. Now let us move on to gastronomy. Buenos Aires cuisine is one of the highlights of the trip. You need to try asado barbecue, especially bife de chorizo sirloin and ojo de bife ribe. Meats are served medium or rare. Also try knife-cut meat, empanadas, choripan, sausage sandwich on the street, and of course lots of dulce de leche and alfajor. Argentine pizza is also famous for its thick crust and lots of cheese. For restaurant suggestions, if you are looking for a cheap and classic option, go to Pizzeria Guerin on Corrientes Avenue. It is an icon, chaotic and delicious. Eat a slice of mozzarella at the counter, standing up for less than $2, or sit in the dining room. For an authentic barbecue experience and mid-price, go to El Pobre Luis in the Belgrano neighborhood. It is famous for its Pamplona's stuffed meat and soccer atmosphere. A dinner costs about $25. And for absolute luxury, Don Julio in Palermo. It is considered one of the best meat restaurants in the world. The line is miles long, so book months in advance. Lunch or dinner costs about $60 to $80 per person. Quick and in-depth shopping tips. Buenos Aires is great for buying leather products, wines, and books. Florida Street is the shopping boardwalk, famous for leather galleries, jackets and bags, and exchange shops. For design, independent fashion, and decoration, go to Palermo Soho around Plaza Serrano. For factory leather with better prices, go to Murillo Street in the Villa Crespo neighborhood. And for wines, Chinese supermarkets or neighborhood wine shops. Vinotecas have excellent prices for Malbecs that cost triple elsewhere. What to do at night? Buenos Aires nightlife is legendary. The classic program is to watch a tango show. There are Broadway-type spectacle shows like Señor Tango or Madero Tango, which include dinner and cost about $40 to $60. And there are milongas places where locals go to really dance, which are more authentic and cheaper. For bars and clubs, Palermo, Soho, and Hollywood are the right place with craft breweries and gin and tonic bars pumping until dawn. And if you are traveling with kids, Buenos Aires is very child-friendly. They will love the Galileo Galilei Planetarium in Palermo, which has projections and a surrounding park. The Eco Park is an old zoo turned into a free interactive park where some animals roam free. The Children S Museum in the Abasto Mall is an incredible miniature city to play in. And of course, having dulce de leche ice cream at Freddo on every corner. Mandatory documentation for international tourists. To enter Argentina, rules are simple for most Western nationalities. You generally just need your valid passport. No visa is required for tourism. And remembering travel insurance. Medical costs in Argentina for tourists are charged and can be expensive in quality private clinics. We never travel without it. And in the link in the description, there is the comparator we use, which always finds insurance for half the price comparing the best insurers on the market. We will leave the link in the description for you to guarantee this protection. And to combine your trip. The most classic combination is to take a day trip to Uruguay. You can take the fast boat Buquebus or Colonia Express, and in 1 hour be in the charming historic city of Colonia del Sacramento. Another option is to take the train and spend the day in the Tigre Delta, taking a boat ride through the canals and seeing the houses on the islands. If you liked this complete guide, like the video, and subscribe to our channel to travel more and better around the world with the best tips. Thank you very much and have a safe trip.